Hi everyone, this is Tara Belansky with the Bend FC Timbers. Thanks for viewing our Build It Forward Field Project Investors Launch. Current financial situation and all of our projections and how this is all going to tie together to make it a reality for ourselves.
So some of you guys know me as a parent, so I've got 4 kids, 3 of them are in the club. I don't know, so what I do is I'm the developer and finance person for OSU Cascade. So by profession, my job is to remediate landfill, a pumice mine, and build a campus on it. Right now, we have currently $79 million in construction going on our campus. So just by background, that's what I do, and that's one of the reasons I got involved in the campus. I've got 3 kids who are playing on fields all over Bend. I can barely get them to practice on my own, thanks to Kim Lee. She usually gets there, one of them at least. So for me, this is I'm excited about the project from a community perspective. As a person who professionally, that's what I do, is I'm building, and my hope I'm building community here in Bend. So this project is also a bit of a labor of love. I'm also personally motivated for what my kids can get from it, so I'll acknowledge that. So Christy and I have been spending a lot of time in the financials of the club, and we took a lot of lessons learned from our colleagues up north and learned a lot from what they had done with their clubs. Just to overly simplify it, we have revenue streams that are coming in. We have existing revenue streams in competitive soccer, recreational soccer. We do share in some of the funds from the coastal as well as some from the Versal, so just to acknowledge that. I'm being told to walk over here and do a little X on the floor. We have winter training events and tournaments that happen in our field, and in the future we'll be adding field rentals, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Future programs, and there's always gifts and donations that come to the club as a nonprofit 501c3. What goes out on the other side, club administration, that's our professional staff that Tara talked about, our coaching staff, fields and equipment, OYSA and tournaments, fundraising and events, and ultimately we'll be adding into that our field maintenance and payments for to support these new fields. So I'll talk a little bit about what's in the budget. Just to give you a little bit more information, competitive soccer, we've talked about the growth in programs. We have not said we're going to have 66% growth, you'll see in the financial model. What I can tell you right now is Portland State University is commissioned by the state of Oregon to do every 3 years, they look at what the growth statistics are by age group in every county in the state of Oregon. For the next 30 years, for all of our age groups that are relevant, 0 to 4 years old, through age 18, there's a 4.4 compounded annual growth rate projected for Central Oregon, Deschutes, Crook, and Jefferson County. Jefferson County has 300 kids in that age group, so not really our target customer, if you will. But we know that there is growth. We know 50,000 people are going to be moving into the city of Bend. The inbound is even greater than the growth of the births in the area. So we use that as a baseline for information. We're not using 4.4% in this model. We're using a super conservative 3% in our model. So we're just going to keep growing a little bit at a time. We also know that our recreational soccer, so our coastal and our Versal leagues are going to grow in that rate. Again, not using what could be a conservative of 4%, we're just using a 3% growth over time. Winter programs, same thing. We're going to keep growing those programs in the rental facilities that they're happening today. We're growing tournaments just at 1%, just to cover incremental cost. You'll see we've added that to the cost as well. We're not even saying we're going to have another tournament. We're just saying it's going to grow at 1% a year in terms of revenues. And then we have a Madras program, and it's $500 a year in net revenues. We're just going to leave that flat. Field rentals. I love the statistics, $100,000 in incremental revenue. That's exactly what we've planned for this field, is $100,000, $25,000 coming from field rentals. What Tammy has done an incredible job of is estimating the amount of time that our competitive teams need to be practicing on those fields, setting aside the additional hours that we can have because of the lights. And because of weekend or summertime, we've estimated and we've allocated those at a $50, not the 70 Portland rate, but the $50, what we think is an acceptable rate. And we based that on a study that Deschutes County did when they were looking at building a field complex. So we use that $50 rate as an acceptable rate for field rentals here in Central Oregon. And then so that's about 18 hours a month of rental fee. It won't happen necessarily on a regular month basis. There'll be certain tournament times, summertime, we may have more rental availability, but on average, it's about 18 hours a month. It's not going to take away from the time that our competitive players are going to be able to play on those fields, is really the intent in talking about it that way. We're also going to continue to get sponsorships. We're going to attract some new field sponsors, the 300,000 that Tara talked about at the beginning, and we want to continue the sponsorships of the club. We think as we grow, create more prominence in the community beyond these fields, become more competitive over time, we'll be able to attract more, but it's not a huge number, and we'll talk about what that is specifically. And then new programs. This is where I get super excited. So we've now got our fields. We're not chasing our kids around. Paul, our director of coaching, instead of scheduling fields and then rescheduling fields because of the snow, and then rescheduling fields because of the smoke, and then spending 50% of his time scheduling fields, he gets to dedicate his time now to these new programs. So I'll talk about what those are in just a moment. So we think because of this field, we can have, so our team at the end of the season played against our kids, our girls. Yes, I did get nutmegged and embarrassingly knocked off the field and from the goal at the very end of it. So maybe I'll get better because of the fields as well. But imagine, 77 parent and kids every Friday night, open field. We can just have that field access just to come out and play with our kids, no additional charge. There's a taco or a beer truck concessions on the side. I had some fun modeling what I thought we could do with beer sales. I can tell you how many kegs there are, how many glasses there are in a keg, how many kegs we have to sell to break even on that. That's pretty exciting. Jen Dowden said, why don't we do a 3v3 Halloween tournament? Why don't we add some more fun tournament into the field on useful time? A 7v7 League Fun Fridays. We also then said, we have this recreational market. How can we offer them and how can we bring them, how can we make this their sport of choice? How do we bring them onto technical, early release technical trainings, advanced technical trainings, defensive and striker training, and some of these things the club is already talking about launching this summer. So Dan has picked up on this defensive and striker training. Let's do it this summer. Let's see what we can get going in the month of July. And then for our competitive programs, winter team training, sticking together with the team through the season and the off season, some of it inside, potentially outside. Elite Developmental Academy. What can we do for those kids who want to specialize in this sport, to grow to that next level, to be competitive whether they have college aspirations or beyond? And then how can we use that July month where we have an off? Can we offer, for example, a college ID camp here in Bend? Can we partner with other organizations, I don't know, like OSU Cascades, use their residential facilities, bring in coaches from outside of the region, really develop some partnerships to create some additional revenue streams. We've modeled all of these things. It's not to say we're going to do them all. We think there's about $75,000 potential in additional revenues we can bring by adding in some new activities and new opportunities for the field. And some of these are not for pay either. Some of them are just, we want to have them as a benefit for our club members because we have the fields going forward. So expenses are going to go up as well. Compensation, we've planned for a COLA increase for this year for staff that haven't received one in a number of years, and then adding a 1% increase over time. Beyond that, we've added in a 1% increase for coaching staff and salaries associated with that. We've taken all of our current expenses for all of our general operating expenses. We've added a 1% inflationary increase, and then we've added in the new expenses. So to operate a turf field, we now have to have equipment to do it, we have to clear it, and we have to resurface it over time. So we've added those expenses and estimates in for the budget. And then we would hypothetically have up to $1.3 million in loans for 7 years at an 8% interest. So we have put those in as interest-only payments for that balloon payment at the end into the financial model.